The worn stone statue had stood sentinel at the entrance of the ancient dungeon for centuries beyond reckoning. Its surface was etched by eons of wind and rain, features eroded into a grotesque parody of its original noble bearing. Where once its visage had welcomed adventurers with inspiration, now its twisted sneer dripped with malevolence. When travelers approached with torch held high, skulls alight with dreams of treasure and glory, the statue spied their bright souls ripe for snaring. It saw beyond their shining eyes down the grim passageways to fates of blood and darkness. In those moments, its cracked lips would curl into a grin, sickly sweet with portent. So began the tragic tale of Marco the Brave and his band of doomed companions. Marco led his friends towards destiny's dark maw, never sensing the pall of death that cloaked their shoulders even in sunlight. Only the statue in its omniscience saw the tangled web ahead, the hunger of ravenous beasts waiting in shadowed tunnels. The black hearts of men turned murderous by a glint of gold. As Marco passed under the statue's crazed smile, a chill rippled across his skin. He hesitated briefly, a vague unease giving him pause. But avarice and pride soon drowned out his misgivings. The others followed Marco into the passage, falling under the dungeon's spell like moths to flame. Their voices echoed, rising in pitched bravado, bold words masking mortal terror. Deeper they delved, the statue's twisted visage guiding their way. Its empty eyes saw all that lay ahead, deaths that would play out according to fate's grim script. For now it would bide its time until the fatal strokes fell and fresh souls came to feed its ancient thirst. The statue waited, grinning. The echoes of Marco's voice soon faded, leaving only oppressive silence in the statue's domain. It waited, listening to the faint skittering and slithering sounds reverberating from the dungeon's depths. Before long, cries of terror erupted, rising to agonized shrieks that were violently silenced. Marco's anguish broke the stillness as his dreams of fortune turned to nightmares of blood and death beneath the unfeeling gaze of the statue. One by one, the adventurers met their fates, until only Marco remained. Trapped and alone, surrounded by the ravaged bodies of his friends, Marco's proud bravado dissolved into whimpers of despair. The statue grinned as Marco stared up at it with tear-filled eyes, finally sensing the inevitability of his demise. In his final moments, Marco noticed the statue's twisted smirk. Recognition sparked. This had been their destiny all along, ushered forth by the ancient sentinel. As the blood loss drained the life from his body, Marco understood the terrible truth. The statue had witnessed this scene play out countless times before. Its cracked features were etched by centuries of bearing witness to the folly of mortal men lured like sheep to the slaughter by visions of wealth and glory. It was a silent orchestrator of their suffering, savoring the anguish and betrayal painted on their faces when death came for them. The light faded from Marco's eyes, and his body stilled. The statue's work was complete. It would continue keeping its grim vigil, awaiting the next wave of souls to shepherd towards their grim fate. Its lifeless facade belied the malevolent intelligence within, ancient and endless in its cruelty. The dungeon once again fell silent, leaving only the statue and its secrets entombed in the dark.